Welcome to Crackers and Milk. I am your host, David. I am joined by Jacob and Mike today for our second season. Ryan is on hiatus, as you guys can tell.
He's a little busy.
Yes. Jacob has our synopsis for our first movie.
So, the first movie we are talking about this season is Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope.
Yes.
The Imperial forces, under orders from cruel Darth Vader, hold Princess Leia hostage in their efforts to quell the rebellion against the Galactic Empire. Luke Skywalker and Han Solo, captain of the Millennium Falcon, work together with the companion... Well, wow, that's a big word.
Big word for Jacob.
Yeah, it is a big word for Jacob.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm dyslexic, guys. So, hey, don't make fun of me. Yeah. So, the droid duo, R2-D2 and C-3PO, wow, there's no mention of Chewbacca in this, to rescue the beautiful princess, help the Rebel Alliance, and restore freedom and justice to the galaxy. Back to you, David.
Ooh, good job, Jacob. Good job.
Yeah, no mention of Chewbacca.
That's kind of interesting that they wouldn't mention that one. It's
Well,
a central figure.
He didn't get a medal at the end.
True, he didn't. Spoiler alert, if you have not seen it.
The movie came out in 1977.
Hey, you never know. Some people haven't watched them. 1977. So I'm doing the top 10, and the top 10, the one who made the most is Star Wars at $700.75 million. Then Smokey and the Bandit, Close Encounter of the Third Kind, Saturday Night Fever, The Goodbye Girl, The Bridge Too Far, The Deep, The Spy Who Loved Me, Oh God, and Annie Hall, which made $38.2 million.
I've seen some of those movies.
Yeah, I'm wondering, are those movies, like, not cool? Because did Star Wars make movies cool? Because none of those sounded top 10 worthy.
Well,
You've never seen The Deep?
Never even heard of The Deep.
but Saturday Night Fever, come on.
No.
Saturday Night Fever.
No.
That one, yes.
No.
You've never heard of Smokey and the Bandit?
I've heard of it, but, like...
I've never watched Saturday Night Fever, but I'm saying, like,
Okay, so
people have Saturday Night
yeah.
Fever. Like, that one's the only one. That one, and Close Encounter.
Close
that one.
Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah.
That I've seen.
And then Smokey and the Bandit.
The Spy Who Loved Me?
No,
Who
never
is
heard of
that?
that.
That's James Bond.
Well, I know who plays James Bond.
Roger Moore.
Oh, well, of course we don't know about it.
So it's James Bond.
Yeah.
It's James
No,
Bond.
well,
And you
Carly
have to-
Simon sang the song.
And you have to be, Jacob
yeah.
type of person
How dare you?
to enjoy that one.
Why are you making fun of me? Because I'm dyslexic.
No, it's not dyslexic. It's just, you love James Bond.
Well, who doesn't?
There's probably enough. Mike, you have our
The financial side.
financial side.
The financial side.
Yes.
Do.
Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, release date May 1977. The box office stats will consist of the dollar amount in the year that it was released and the dollar amount comparison of the year 2019. So basically, people, I'm showing 1977 money to 2019 money. So the budget in 1977 was $11 million, or $46 million for our time.
Wow.
The U.S. opening was... they garnered $1.5 million, which not too good.
Whoa, wait. The
opening weekend.
Oh, my gosh.
Opening weekend.
Yeah, but, it's a weird concept.
The ticket prices were less back then.
Yeah. Or $6.5 million our time. The gross total in the United States over the whole course, $460 million. So, that's a good profit, I think.
That is a good profit.
Or $1.9 billion our time. And the worldwide total, $775 million, or $3.2 billion. I love saying billion.
So if that came out now, that would be the highest grossing movie ever, right?
Actually, no. The highest grossing from my research was Gone with the Wind. It's still the highest grossing movie.
Okay.
I don't know what the...
it adjusted for...
Adjusted
Yeah,
for-
adjusted.
It'll always be Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, it's huge.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But this is close. From what I saw, it was like second or third.
I don't have the numbers in front
I
of
think
me. can't
Avatar was second.
Oh,
which is
Avatar's
crazy.
still second?
Yeah, and then it was this one. But I don't know.
tell.
It was somewhere around there, but it's up there.
But you sorry, just
No,
to
you're good.
interject, you have to consider there wasn't as many movies coming out.
With Gone with the Wind, and it was
And Star Wars.
And Star Wars, yeah.
And so when you were saying that would suck in today's,
Yeah.
that was awesome back then because
Yeah.
there was one of like 2 movies opening.
Right.
True.
I'm going to go watch this one. It
True.
has THX, whatever that means.
Exactly.
Right?
Sorry, Mike.
That's why I would go. Anyway, to end, the budget of $11 million and the profit of $775 million resulted in a profit of 7,050%. So huge. They made their money back, I think.
Yes, they did.
And it launched everything else.
Oh, yeah.
That
I
one
think.
movie. Yep.
The toys.
Good.
Thank you.
Nice.
So interesting facts, huh?
Yeah,
About Star
interesting facts about Star Wars: The New Hope. Nothing more.
Wars.
Nothing
New
less.
Hope.
Or the New
Oh.
Hope.
New Hope.
Then-
Sorry, this is the magazine that says New Hope.
And it was right in front of him, folks.
Yes,
The New Hope.
New Hope. Still, such the weirdest scene in the whole movie. I thought is the medal ceremony. Like, why would they get a medal?
Because they destroyed the Death Star. But why is that an interesting fact?
Well,
That's plot of the movie.
I know. I just think it's the weirdest part about the movie.
No, the weirdest part of the movie is how he decided to use cardboard cutouts. Instead of just hiring 30 more people to stand there.
Well, I think that if it was shot chronologically, then he ran out of money. Because at the end, he had no money.
Yeah.
If it was shot chronologically.
Yeah.
He has no excuse for which I found out is diving into it more.
Yeah.
$8 million was the original budget, then it became 11. That was interesting. Reading into that.
But don't movies usually over exceed their budget because you think because I had a government job and you had to put in a bid and then you try to stay within the bid, but sometimes it's like no, this happens, this happens, so it's like it doesn't really that bid is just like this.
It's an estimate.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you estimate that?
I don't know. And
How do you fight the weather?
And you're paying people, you're just paying people. You don't know, how long are they going to take? I don't know. It's just crazy.
But that might be part of it, is he had to keep pushing back production.
Yeah.
Did he? Did he push back production?
Mm-hmm.
When the Tunisia for the Tatooine scenes, George Lucas tried to fight the weather.
Sounds like a George Lucas idea to do.
So the famous Luke staring off at the horizon, the 2 sunsets,
Yeah.
that was 2 days late
Oh.
because there was a sandstorm.
Sandstorm that made the sky look like the earth. They couldn't figure out where the horizon was.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yes, George Lucas directed this one. Guess which the next one he directed, though?
Phantom Menace.
In front of a green screen.
Which is so terrible.
Yeah, folks.
Well, the more we get into it, I've got some other facts about why he apparently stopped directing. But
Yeah. Well, tell us. That's...
are we going to go over all 3 movies right now, or are you just
No. Okay, let's talk about how he was able to get this one going, the New Hope going, because he did that THX.
Oh yeah, THX 1138.
1138. So he did that one.
Have you guys seen that?
No, I never.
Neither have I.
No,
Yeah, it's probably one of those movies that you don't want to see.
Well,
it's what it sounded like. It just sounded kind of depressing.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
I've never read it. I've heard about it, but I've never been like, oh yeah, it's interesting to watch.
I only want
Never
to
thought.
see it just to see if it has, because he said he drew upon it to, make Star Wars. Maybe.
Oh.
So that'd be kind of interesting to see.
Exactly.
And then he did the after he did that one, he did American Graffiti.
Yep.
Yeah.
so he was able.
Which proved him as a director.
Yes.
Proved him as
That's
a director because it was like, it was made for $1 million or less. And then it grossed $100 million. Mm-hmm. And so people was like, okay, let's take the bet on George. And then George had this idea.
Yep.
Yep. That he stole from Akira Kurosawa or whatever his name is.
Who did he steal from?
The Japanese director. Forgive me, folks. I'm murdering the name, but Akira Kurosawa.
How did he steal that? How did he?
So
Tell us the story.
He took the plot of Kurosawa's movie Hidden Fortress and turned it into a sci-fi movie. Oh. It's okay. I mean, Hollywood was ripping off Kurosawa back when he was actually making movies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But, so, he owns the rights to, or his foundation owns the rights to, what's that? 7 cowboy movies. What was that?
Oh, Magnificent Seven?
The Magnificent Seven, yeah. Because that's just based on 7 samurai.
Yeah, you were telling me that
yeah.
a while ago.
So, yes, this is just another example of the Hollywood ripping off a Japanese man.
Because my brother Mike, he was showing me how Disney ripped off Lion King from somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
And I was
Netflix
like,
documentary on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? I didn't know that.
Kimba.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah.
That's just so nuts.
Yeah, I agree.
But you
it's
have
awesome.
to get an idea from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you're a production company.
Oh, yeah.
You're not like some writer just sitting there.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so... No, granted, the movie went way different than the original idea, but the Death Stars, the Hidden Fortress, I mean, they even say Hidden Fortress in it, but they're talking about the Rebel base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like, so Rocky, sorry, because it kind of reminds me of Rocky. Rocky was some of the inspiration that Sylvester Stallone got was from this guy named Chuck Wagner. Wagner, I don't know his last name, but he fought Muhammad Ali, and so Sylvester Stallone saw that, and he started writing the script. And then in another episode in Rocky 3, he fights Hulk Hogan. Yeah. And Chuck Wagner, or whatever this guy's name is, he fought a wrestler too. So it's like he took stuff from...
Did he fight Mr. T?
No, he didn't fight Mr. T.
Did he fight a Russian?
Oh, no, he didn't.
Did he street box with his protege?
No. But, just the concept of those two things he took, and so it's like, all right, like, you have to get your inspiration from someplace at times, and you adjust it to what you want it to look like.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. And then, how did Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher get picked for this? Do you guys know? I don't know. I understand that Harrison Ford was like, wasn't he just like, I know he hated this role.
He was up and coming.
Yeah.
And he took it to make money.
Yeah. He made a lot of money.
And then, I don't think that these were their first roles for Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But it worked for him. He picked unknowns for the cast for the most part.
Yeah, which is smart.
What I saw, Mark Hamill he'd been doing stuff for a while.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I looked at what he had done, and it looked like he started like in '63 doing stuff.
As a kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, he's been acting for a while. Yeah.
Then Carrie Fisher, of course, is who's her mom?
Oh.
Doris Day?
Mrs. Carrie Fisher.
No,
it's not Doris Day.
No, it's... So, she had a tiff with Elizabeth Taylor, but I don't remember what her name was, because Elizabeth Taylor stole her husband.
Wow.
Yeah. Who I believe was Carrie Fisher's father, but...
Yeah. Carrie Fisher. Okay. Any other interesting things that you guys came across of researching this film?
Gonna tell us boring facts?
Yeah, you can start telling.
I'll tell some boring facts. All right. So what I've learned is the cameras they use are all Ariflex. That's the name of the brand. Mm-hmm. And then they also use Panavision cameras, mostly with Panavision lenses, blah, blah, blah. So really super wide shots. Yeah. Way cool. Ariflex, they still used for the current film. They're still using the Ariflex.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
It's not like they've made it digital now, but it still looks like a 65 millimeter, 70 millimeter wide film, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. 116 shooting days for A New Hope.
Oh, wow.
That's how long it took. And so they started on March 22nd, 76, shot to July 15th of 76, and then the release date was May 77, so a year of post-production.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you had to make all the models.
The post-production, I found something kind of interesting. Post-production, John Jimpson. Anyone know that name?
No.
John Jimpson. He was the editor. He was the main editor. Yeah. And he edited the whole film. George looked at it and said, "This sucks. This is," he said, quote, Lucas said, quote, "complete disaster." So he fired Jimpson, and he hired Paul Hirsch and Richard Chu, and also his wife.
His wife.
Marcia.
Yeah.
Why did he hire his wife?
I guess she knew how to edit. I don't know. Maybe she understood the vision he wanted.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah.
She probably had a background in film as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Paul and Richard, they put it a lot together and got it figured out. So, yeah, kind of interesting. I wanted to bring this up, the lightsabers. So in February of 77, Lucas needed to show the executives at Fox to say, "Hey, this is how it's going." And there were some producers there, executives there. One of the producers was Steven Spielberg, so he got to watch this crappy version. So here's what happened: lightsabers were hand-drawn arrows. That's what they were watching. So it was special effects of arrows drawn on the screen.
Oh, wow.
Kind of interesting. Yeah. The Millennium Falcon and TIE fighters, when they were fighting and going into space, they cut and put in World War II dogfights. So how fun. Like, I would love to see this. Like, wouldn't that be so fun? Be like, what the heck? That is so cool.
Wow. How did this movie get made?
Right?
I know.
Here's how it got made. This is the last part of that, which I thought was interesting. Producers in the room who watched, including Steven Spielberg, looked disappointed when he was looking at their faces. He's like, oh no, they don't like this, the producers. But the studio executives, including this guy named Gareth Wiegand, and he worked with 20th Century and others, he said, "This is the greatest film I've ever seen." So all the executives backed him. Says, "Oh, this is awesome. You need more money? You can have more money." But the producers are like, "This is a joke. You know, this is dumb." Especially when because he created the ILM. Is it ILM?
Industrial Light and Magic.
Industrial Light and Magic. So he created that so that because 20th Century Fox had gotten rid of their special effects department, so he created it. But they were still behind and trying to figure out, because he had to start a company to do the special effects. Oh. And so he hired a guy, and that guy hired students and art people, and but they hadn't gotten to a point where they were ready to put special effects. And this is February 77. This is a couple more months before the release comes out. So very interesting that they went in and still didn't have the special effects. They just had cut to dogfight scenes. That's crazy. Anyway, that's kind of some of the stuff that had.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Man. I can't believe that.
Right?
Do you think they'd ever release that?
That would be so cool.
Like, release it like this is the test screening of Star Wars. I don't think they ever would.
Probably not, but I don't know. Disney's all about the money, so they own
Right?
Fox now.
Yeah,
so.
but
They'll just
George was all about the money too.
Yeah, but George realized when he was embarrassed.
Sure.
Have you ever seen the Christmas special?
No, I've never seen it.
Try and find it.
Yeah, you can't find it, huh?
You can't find it.
You'd think he'd want to sell that, so a bunch of us crazy fans want to watch it and pay him tons of money for it.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to be embarrassed.
He's embarrassed by it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Which, okay, talking on because I do wedding videos and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My first wedding videos, I would love for those not to ever be seen again. They are terrible.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. No, I get
Terrible.
that. Because, like, the first couple podcasts that we've
Yes.
done, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
This is
Kinda bad.
awful.
I don't
Not
know.
very
I
good.
thought our top 10 superhero list was good.
Well, you have that one, but then, like, I can only speak about Dave's Den of Discourse.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
you're
yeah.
just like, oh my gosh.
By the way, people, I love it, so I don't know why Dave doesn't like it.
Yeah,
Or is embarrassed, but I
it's
love it.
just like you're just, it's just not very good.
God bless you, people. I don't know what it says something cool at the end. Can I go some more a little bit after you got something, Jake?
Let me say something.
Yeah.
George only understood the story of this movie.
What do you mean? Like he only had the vision for this movie.
He had the vision for the original trilogy,
Yeah.
but he didn't understand the story beyond this one. And we'll get into
Like
it when we
he-
talk about
he-
Empire Strikes Back
like-
and Return of the Jedi.
Well, what you're saying right now
Yeah.
that this was the only one that was like really a complete thought, and he understood everything
Yeah.
that needed to go into
He
it
had
to
that-
start it,
He had the outline of the
Yeah.
prequels
and
and
the sequels
No.
or the
he did,
whatever.
he had an idea for the sequels, but I will never know.
Yeah.
But he had the vision for the original trilogy and for prequels.
Prequel.
He had ideas. He had an outline.
Yeah.
He had only fleshed out this story.
But I agree with you.
He wrote Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi,
Yeah.
but he had helpers.
Like Ghost Riders?
Maybe. Okay, Mike, you again?
No, so for all the listeners out there, I learned about directors and producers.
Yeah.
So George Lucas, he basically did all of it as much as he could, right? So he had to go find a producer, find somebody that would pay for it. When the producer, that's what a producer does. They make the movie happen. The director has the vision. That's the whole thing. So I thought it was interesting. It's this whole thing, his whole story, and what Jake is talking about. He's got this. He understands. This is what the story is. Blah 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 blah. So and then the poor guy, they're doing their best. They choose. I want to talk about the cinematographer. His name is Gilbert Taylor.
Yeah.
And Gilbert Taylor is freaking hilarious. And he has his ways, and he's set, and he's done films for 20th Century Fox, and 20th Century trusts him and says, okay, we'll pay for this guy to do it.
Yeah.
And so, and this will lead, I think this will lead into our discussions of the other episodes. But I want to read a little thing on, he had an interview, and he said, I think this was his wife talking. Gil was often waiting for George to make decisions and get to the setups. Out in the desert, George wanted to heavily diffuse everything, and Gil said, "You can't do it, George, because you've got a lot of special effects to lay in, and you won't be able to if you diffuse it." And then they say what that is. Diffusing the lens would create a soft focus effect. Also, they had terrible bad weather when they got out to Tunisia. There was no definition between the sand and the sky. Gil said if it was diffused on top of that, George would have been absolutely, and he says a bad word, but I'll put in screwed when it came time to do the effects. So I still feel like Gil was right that you have to have clarity to put on the effects, because if you wouldn't, It was good. I think he was right for the job. I don't think. I mean, I know that George he shoots movies too. He's done his own cinematography, but I think Gil. I'm glad Gil was part of Star Wars because I think it would have changed if he wasn't there.
Well, the New Hope, was Gil part of other ones, or was he just the New Hope?
Just New Hope. Yep.
So he helped set it up for the other stuff that George was able to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so they got in an argument. George said, "Nope, I'm not going to shoot with you anymore." So he went. They flew from Tunisia. Flew like more budget. Let's spend some more money. Left Tunisia. Went to California. Said, we need to do it my way. And 20th Century said, no, you will do it Gil's way. We trust Gil. They went back and shot the movie.
And magic happened.
Yeah. But I was talking earlier about it. For this vision that George has, this whole story in his mind, he's been a cinematographer. He shot movies. How kind of hurting is that to you? And I think that's what I'll talk about in The Empire Strikes Back is a change. Yeah.
Interesting.
But, like, at the same time, like...
Oh, it's cool. The Empire Strikes Back. What you hear now is so cool for The Empire Strikes Back.
But, like, with that, like, as a director, I can understand that it's hurting because, like, being in charge of something... And it's your vision, it's what you're trying to do and all that stuff. Like, it is hurting, but, like, the best thing, like, one thing that I learned in English while I was studying it was they said, it's sometimes you love characters and you have to cut them. You have to cut them from your story because it's just better that they're gone.
Right.
Exactly.
Even though you love them, it's like they just need to go.
And they did that, right, with Briggs, I think was his name. The friends of Luke. Yeah. They cut Briggs, his friends, and that was part of some of the cuts they made was
because
this is boring.
There's a scene that I've seen with him in it that makes when he dies more impactful.
Right.
But it had to go.
It had to go.
It had to go.
Yeah.
Because it was just dragging.
Instead of him looking behind him going, that's what Luke does. When his friend gets killed.
Yeah. When it's his lifelong friend and they've done everything together.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. In Tatooine.
Tatooine.
I don't know why I said Tatooine. For the Halo, everyone. Tatooine.
Speaking of Tatooine, the Mos Eisley Cantina scene was directly influenced by a Star Trek episode.
Really?
Yeah. Sorry, folks.
Star Trek.
I didn't bring my notes with me, so I'm doing this all off memory. But I don't know the episode. But there is a scene where Kirk walks into an alien bar, and there's all these different types of aliens.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Interesting, huh? Yeah. Let's see how many times we can say interesting and the interesting facts.
Interesting.
We'll get better.
Okay. I do want to say one thing. I did enjoy reading this one part about a critic of this.
Yeah.
From the New Yorker. Pauline Kael or Kael, I don't know.
Sounds good.
Said she championed like the 67 Bonnie and Clyde film and all that stuff. She's like, she dismissed this film. It is an epic without a dream. Seeing the film, she wrote, it is like getting a box of Cracker Jacks, which is all prizes. This is the writer-director George Lucas's own film, subject to no business interference, yet it's a film that's totally uninterested in anything that does not connect with the mass audience. It's enjoyable on its own terms, but it's exhausting too, like taking a pack of kids to the circus. Her reaction was echoed by other influential voices and established a dynamic that would continue across 4 decades.
Huh.
So,
Wow.
Well, going off
I
of
think
that,
that's kind of. I think it's like interesting to see what people thought of it because like it is very nerdy, which is great. You know, it's fun and it's interesting and all that stuff because it helps you like wonder. I think that was the one thing that I've enjoyed about it at times is like it makes you wonder about certain things. Like, okay, why is it like that? Or wait, hold on. You just kind of question things, and I think some stories in life, no matter what you read, if you wonder about certain characters and you wonder about people, I think that's draws you to those stories even more. And so it's kind of nice that you wonder about people, and it kind of at the same time stinks because then you wonder someone's going to go and make a movie about it, and you're just like, oh, that's not a good one. That's not a good thought, or that's not a good way of doing that. You know?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
well, the cast even said most of the crew considered the project a children's film. The actual people on set, and they rarely took their work seriously. And I mean, when this kind of hurts is the director, and they often found it unintentionally humorous. So, I mean, can you imagine trying to shoot and people are laughing, and you're like, oh, well, I think this is
So the cast rewrote lines like.
Oh right, yeah.
I think Mark Hamill told him flat out he wasn't going to say this one line and he was going to say his own.
Yeah.
Right, that's that's in another episode, but yeah, Harrison Ford, they were like kept shooting this scene and he was like, I'm just going to say what I want to say. I'm going to say what I think he would say. What would Han Solo say in this?
Exactly.
And they would just that's how they would do the movie.
But
Crazy.
like at the same time, like my brother is telling me, or he pointed something out to me, my oldest brother, and he said, if you look at this one, the New Hope, it's the funnest one. It seems like the funnest one that they ever made, like all of them, because it was funny to them. It was like, okay, this isn't serious. This is just fun. It's a children's movie. That's your thought where they're enjoying. It seems like they probably enjoy it a little bit more, but then you go to 5 and 6, and then it's like it's a bit more serious.
Oh yeah, it's way more.
It's
serious.
not as fun.
Well, I don't know. The Ewoks are fun until you realize they eat all the stormtroopers. But no, I understand what you're saying. A New Hope, Star Wars was a fun movie.
Yeah.
It was the only way I would sit in the dentist chair, is if they had Star Wars on for me.
Good.
Yeah. And like I think sometimes when you have that, where it's just unintentional fun and it's just fun, you're gonna have magic. You're gonna have a bit more magic in a movie. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, these people are having a lot of fun, just fun, and you could tell when people are having fun or when people aren't having so much fun on the screen, you know. And
you could tell Harrison Ford had fun in this.
Yeah.
When he's running after the stormtroopers, and then they lead him into a trap, and he's like running away from them. It's funny.
It is funny.
But then of course the other movies, George Lucas and everybody got more serious because it was this massive hit and massive money making thing and that sort of thing. You know, like it just changed.
So,
it changed his mindset.
Yeah. You've seen the remastered fight between Darth Vader.
Yeah, you showed me that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Have you seen that?
Between who?
ObiWan and Darth Vader.
It was it's a fan YouTube one, right?
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
I would recommend
awesome.
everybody to watch it and just envision that and this, and then it matches the tone of the rest of the movies.
Cool.
Yeah.
Remastered.
It's awesome.
Fight scene.
Oh, speaking of the remastered, let's just start talking about the movie.
What movie?
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Instead of interesting facts.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I like interesting facts, but I'm honestly gonna say I like the movie, but I'm not like.
You're not in love with it.
I'm never in love with this one because it's so weird to me. Like the metal scene, where they get medals. It's like, dude, this
Have you
too
seen
weird.
it without the music?
I love it with that one where you have Chewbacca, the guy who does it. You're just like, what the? This is so weird.
The weird, awkward smile. Yeah. That scene is weird.
Yeah.
And not just for the cardboard cutout people but it's just weird.
Yeah, it's just a weird,
Yeah.
like that end scene, and then like with the whole Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber scene, where he just goes in a circle.
Yeah.
Like that's all he does, and you're just like, oh, okay, this is a little weird.
So it was awesome when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Do you know how many times I did that turnaround? Where I did the 360 sword block? That was like my favorite move.
It's awesome.
But seeing real sword fights as movies progress and stuff, I understand now.
Yeah.
I understand now. And in the original cut, you could actually see the wire leading into the Obi-Wan's robe for this.
That's awesome.
The light. I mean, people didn't see it in the movie theater.
Yeah.
I mean,
No one was paying attention
it's been
to
30 years to analyze this film.
Yeah. That's so awesome. I love when things like
40 years. Oh, man.
77. It's
Man,
almost 40 years.
Man, I am old. Okay.
It is 40
It
years.
is 40.
It is 40 years.
42.
42.
Wow.
Oh, holy crap.
But, and then you could see the dust when they hit the lightsabers come up off.
Wow.
Yeah. But, so I understand why he remastered it. It's just, he didn't understand the story anymore.
Do you think, okay, so this is what I've kind of noticed. So, people like Elvis Presley.
You like Elvis Presley.
Well, I know, no. I know.
the ghetto.
Well, you have that. You have Michael Jackson. Those two. Those two are really the ones.
The Beatles.
The Beatles. Where their fame was so big. I think the Beatles were a bit more grounded. Elvis and Michael, when you hear stories about them, aren't grounded. They don't seem grounded because they're the artists unto themselves.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And like, I feel like George is like that.
I agree.
Where he became an artist unto himself, and J.K. Rowling is following in their same kind of
It's the same
pattern.
story.
Yeah, well, it is the same story, but like, she's following in that same pattern where these guys they're kind of off on their own, and then it's their story, it's their thing, and it's like, okay, you're not grounded.
They've become gods of their own little
Yes,
universe.
they have.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's why the remastered, like, Han shot first. Like, watching it, because you have to watch the remastered if you get a DVD or a Blu-ray now. You just have to.
Yeah.
I don't even remember Guido shooting in the original cut.
Oh. Wow.
He might have got off a shot, but it was definitely after Han shoots him.
Wow.
So because of the remastered, he put that in. Then it's the debate of who shot first.
Yeah, so he wanted Han to be more of a good guy when that's not Han's character.
No. Han isn't he's a good guy with a good heart, but not.
Yeah.
He's not a good guy.
And that's the one thing the Solo movie got right is he shoots first.
Yes.
And we'll talk more about that later in this season. Yes, I'm the geek in this group. I'm the one who's seen these movies multiple times.
Mm-hmm. Except 3. I love 3. Just kidding. No, I'm never kidding about that. It's still the greatest movie ever made in this series.
In the series. Oh.
He's being facetious, folks.
It's the only one I went and saw back 2 times. 3 times. 3 times. I watched that 3 times. Or twice.
Did you go with a girl?
I went with... Yeah. I went on 2 dates.
That's why you went multiple
dates.
times.
Yeah. Hey, still the only one.
Yeah. I've only ever seen any of the ones that I was alive to see.
Yeah.
In the theaters once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could say that. Like, I could see that. Like, I don't know how many times I went and saw Phantom Menace. I think it was once.
Once.
Yeah. But 3, twice.
But if I was alive during this time, I probably would have saw this one multiple times.
I would agree with that.
Because, I could talk about the ships. I could talk about anything you want about this movie. The reason the X-Fighters were so good against the TIE Fighters is they have the same maneuverability, but they had shields.
Oh,
TIE Fighters
nothing.
went all for offense. They didn't have shields.
Why did that change? Did that ever change? I thought that changed. Did it change?
I don't know if it changed. I just know that TIE Fighters were easy to shoot out of the sky.
Oh.
But
It had to change in the last 3, right? Or last,
they went for maneuverability.
Well,
I don't know.
when you see people as when you don't care, like they don't care, then I could see that.
Yeah,
I could see it's just as maneuverability.
Yeah.
You know what's frustrating about trying to fit this podcast of Star Wars into whatever designated time we're trying to go for?
Yeah.
It's impossible.
I know it's
There's
impossible.
so much cool stuff. Like,
Yeah.
we could talk about this. We could talk about this. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So much. Okay.
Well,
Anyway.
Is there anything?
I can go on and on and on and on and on and on.
I would like to say I have this thing, this complete thing, which I'm grateful to have. This is the cliffhanger, key moment, and scene stealer for this one. Okay. Cliffhanger. Obi-Wan Kenobi fights Darth Vader before sacrificing himself for the greater good. How's that?
That wasn't a cliffhanger.
That's not a cliffhanger. Key moment. Obi-Wan gives Luke Skywalker his father's blue-bladed lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I could see that being a key moment. And then scene stealer. This is the stupidest scene stealer one. The Death Star, also known as DS-1 Orbital Battle Station, the Empire's ultimate weapon.
No, the scene stealer is when Luke blows it up.
Yes.
When he hears Obi-Wan say, "Use the Force, Luke."
See, I would think that would be the scene stealer.
Trust your feelings.
I think that would be the scene stealer, is when Obi-Wan talks to him.
Because that's...
Yeah. You're like, well, he's
that
dead.
proves the magic's real as far as the story goes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else we want to talk about in this one?
No. Watch it, folks.
Yes.
Watch it still.
Please. It's a great movie.
I still meet people to this day who've never seen a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I'm always surprised when they haven't seen a Star Wars
so
movie.
surprising to me.
Because it's so weird.
It's such a part of pop culture.
Yeah. And, like, how many people have taken from Star Wars?
So many people.
So many. So, yeah. Please watch it.
Well, it's like people haven't watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's how I feel.
Well, that one's understandable, though.
No, it's not. I love Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
No. It is a good movie. I'm just saying it's understandable people don't watch it in it. Because, like, there's some pop culture references, but not as much as Star Wars.
Yeah.
Where everything kind of comes off. Like, you have car commercials with Star Wars. That little kid, that
that's
Darth
the best
Vader
commercial.
Yeah.
I love that commercial.
That one's an awesome one and all that stuff. So, yeah. Okay.
Chewbacca should have gotten a medal.
Yes, he should have.
I know it's been retconned, but...
You also need to watch that without the music on YouTube. Such a great thing.
You realize how awkward the scene actually is.
So awesome.
So awkward.
Okay. Just remember to subscribe, rate, and leave a comment. Tell us what you think of the episode and what you think of Star Wars the movie.
Yes, please.
Please, please.